TLC service experts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Albuquerque, New Mexico, home of New Mexico United, home of Route 66, and the home of tonight's showdown. It's the 16th edition of the Derby del Camino Real between New Mexico United and El Paso Locomotive FC right here at the lab. My name's Tyler Ortega, joined tonight on the call by UNM women's soccer head coach Heather Dyke. And coach, we've got a special one here tonight.
We have a special one. There's a lot of stories that come into the night, and most importantly, just El Paso looking for their first win of the season.
El Paso looking for their first win of the season, as you said. Let's take a look here at New Mexico's road win last weekend down in Phoenix. It was a battle against the defending champions, with Phoenix unveiling their Campeones kits, and things didn't get off according to plan for the defending champs as Mukwele Akale finds Dayon Harris here 16 minutes in, putting New Mexico United on top.
For a while now, Phoenix has been the standard in the Southwest, so to get that win and to do it in a convincing way and have a great game is just a positive sign for where New Mexico United is headed.
real positive sign for the black and yellow. And anytime you can go to the defending champs' house, knock them off 1-0, it was a test for New Mexico United. You see the early goal here. There was still work to be done throughout the entirety of the match. Alex Tambakis and that back line up to the task.
There will never be a time where you go into Phoenix and it's an easy game, and I think the team was up for it, and Coach Quill had his team ready to play, and they've never relinquished that positive, mindset in the way they were playing.
Yeah, and there was a couple hundred fans from New Mexico that made the trip down, saw this save there from Alex Tambakis as the black and yellow prevail 1-0. Our players to watch tonight, presented by Toyota. You see the El Paso man, Armando Moreno. Feels weird saying that. And the El Paso native now playing for New Mexico, Arturo Astorga. And when you look at these two, Heather, you know exactly what Armando Moreno is all about, having played here for the past 4 seasons.
He's someone who's endeared himself to the New Mexico United community, and any time that you lose somebody that's important to it, when they come back and play, there's going to be some mixed emotions, but ultimately we all want for Armando to have a great game and for New Mexico United to find the win.
The El Salvadorian with the only goal scored thus far on this season for the Locomotive, making his return from international duty here tonight. Let's take a look now at the other side. It's Arturo Astorga. Came up through the New Mexico U23 pipeline. He was actually the first player to do so, and he's actually one of 2 players for the black and yellow to have played every minute this season. When you talk to Eric Quill about him, he says he just plays hard.
He's a grinder. He's the kind of player that every coach wants because he just never stops. There's nothing that affects him.
We're going to step aside for just a moment. Tonight's match and this season is presented by Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary. We'll be back with lineups and kickoff.
three, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I told the guy and he told me keep moving. I'm at the show and they told me keep grooving. If it ain't me, tell me who else gonna do it. I'ma just do it. I'ma just do it. I'm at the top of my city, I'm tooling. Bitch said that I beat, I had to improve it. Every day I see the fruits of improvement. I'ma just do it. I'ma just do it.
Back at the lab here, kickoff just moments away. Let's take a look here at tonight's starting lineups presented by the Somos Unidos Foundation. For New Mexico United, Eric Quill making no changes from his side that took on Phoenix Rising on the weekend. And Heather, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
If it's not broken, don't fix it. That was an excellent lineup. They came out with very high energy, and they came out with a huge win. So let's see what they can do here at home.
On the flip side for Brian Clairhout, he's got some firepower back as he gets Jamali Waite and also Armando Moreno back from international duty. You're going to see Justin Dillon up top. You'll see Liam Rose, Calvillo in the midfield. This one going to be a ton of fun. It's the 16th edition of the Derby del Camino Real between El Paso and New Mexico. And we are kicking off here in just a moment. El Paso in their road whites. New Mexico, of course, in their home black and yellow strips. El Paso victorious their previous 2 trips here to the lab as New Mexico looking to change fortune, and that is Talon Maples getting up and immediately winning the first header of the match. So I know we were a little curious here, Heather, to see how El Paso comes out early.
Yeah, I think when you add some special players back, then all of a sudden, formations can change and the way teams play change. And definitely for El Paso, they've added 3 players back that were missing that I think can be impactful.
Dolenmeyer came in as a sub a couple weeks ago when Craig went down injured, and he's been playing ever since. It is a pretty chilly night here in Albuquerque. It's been windy all day long, actually since last night. And so you'll see no covered benches out there, just the good old-fashioned folding chairs and a lot of hands in pockets.
And the wind is unfortunately one of the things that can absolutely change a game. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams adjust based on which way the wind is blowing, and can they change their tactics to help their team find a better way to win.
It's Gloucester working alongside Harris there, and it's going to be another throw in here for El Paso. Last time these two sides saw each other was down out at Southwest University Park. It was a 1-0 win for the black and yellow. Santi Moar scoring in the 89th minute, assisted by Nicky Hernandez. This ball played forward. Calvillo now plays the cross in. El Paso looking to ask some questions early on, and Stauffer has that shot deflected, and we're going to see our first corner kick of the evening.
There's a risk when you play a team that hasn't had a win yet. They have a little bit of hunger to them, and they have no fear to them, and you can see that in the start here from El Paso. They're ready to go. You
can see the keys to the game brought to you by Garcia Automotive Group there, the top left corner for New Mexico. Of course, as we mentioned, they're going to be keeping an extra eye on number 10 in white, but before that, this is the man to watch. Lucas Stauffer. As Tambakis punches it out, falls to Calvillo, and looks like actually got a call down in the box, and so it's going to be a free kick here for New Mexico. Dolenmeyer able to poke that one away. Throw in here for New Mexico. Let's take a look at the Ben Sherman Law injury report. Injured at work, Ben Sherman can help. 4 names there for the black and yellow: Kalen Ryden, Abu Danladi, Sergio Rivas, and Christian Nava.
Yeah, 3 of the 4 names New Mexico United fans are very familiar with, and hoping that they return to play soon. They've been impactful players for the club for a long time.
Rivas and Nava, of course, both Albuquerque natives.
At this point, it kind of feels like Kalen Ryden is too.
I was just about to say, yeah.
He's been here so long, he feels like he's a local.
Kalen Ryden, almost 110 appearances for New Mexico, sitting at 109 right now as Jamali Waite has to get that one out, and he does. Greg Hurst had 4 shots last weekend against Phoenix. Here's Harris looking to connect, and that attempt thwarted by Akinyote, but the foul is called, and it's going to be a free kick coming up here for New Mexico. Bolu Akinyote, the former Miami FC man, comes in, and there you can see on the TLC replay, rakes across the top of the foot there.
Yeah, just coming in late in a very dangerous area. This is some place that New Mexico United's been dangerous this season so far.
It'll be interesting to see who takes this here. Is it going to be Micheletto? Looks like Micheletto, Hurst, Quelle all standing over it. Talon Maples also joining the party.
We could be as confused as the goalkeeper right now. That's quite a few group of guys looking to decide who's going to take it.
You know, and in seasons past, it would have been Chris Wehan, it would have been Justin Portillo, but obviously those guys no longer in the black and yellow, and so
new season, new players. Time for some different players to kind of put their name on that list. It looks like it's going to be Hurst.
There's the Scotsman, Greg Hurst, and he just sends it over the bar. Coach, he did not miss that one by much.
He did not miss it by much. I'm looking forward to the next one if that's the standard for Greg Hurst. What a great shot. New Mexico United kind of showing the high press here. They're not going to let El Paso develop any kind of a rhythm.
You see Hurst putting in the effort just 6 minutes into this one.
He's taken on a new role this year. I mean, he's. I think last season he was a little bit more of a target player, and this season, like, you really see him putting in that kind of pressure, which is exciting to see from Greg Hurst because it's something we haven't seen before.
We've got a moment. We'd like to tell you about this 529 game update brought to you by the Education Plan. That's New Mexico State-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com. That is Chris Gloucester down for New Mexico, the former NYCFC man. Looks to be okay. Zarek Quill, his first full season as New Mexico United head coach, of course, taking over in June of last year. And ironically, the final game that was coached by Zach Prince was against El Paso Locomotive.
This game, you said, I think it's the 16th time, but it feels like it's been forever. There's just such a great rivalry when geographically you're isolated from so many places that you're so close to El Paso. There just becomes a little bit of an extra story there, which makes the game a little bit more fun and more things to add to it.
El Paso victorious here at the Lab last year. That was a 1-0 win. It was Kostishin scoring 71 minutes in. Here's Harris getting through. Ball falls all the way to Micheletto. Unleashes one! Marco Micheletto, welcome to the Lab. It's his first goal for New Mexico United, and what a goal it was. The Lab has erupted here just 8 minutes in.
What a goal. I don't even think the goalkeeper saw that coming from distance that far out. What a cross, what a finish. That's the way you want to start a game.
And you can tell just what it means to the new number 10 in black and yellow as New Mexico take the lead here early on. Goals brought to you by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. And that is how you score your first goal for your new club. An absolute dart into the back of the net as we get another look here on this TLC replay. And for Micheletto, you just can't strike a ball any better than that.
There's not much you can do about that. I think if he would have told the goalkeeper where it was going, he doesn't get there. That's just an epic finish right in front of his home fans. Nothing better than that to welcome yourself to the New Mexico United community.
His second match here at the Lab. Micheletto, there he is on defense now. Is New Mexico able to force the turnover? Here's Akale. Storga goes back to Tony Herbert. Herbert made his first start in black and yellow last weekend out in the Valley, and he looked solid.
He does look solid. He's a player that every time he's on the ball, good things tend to happen. I mean, he's clean, he makes good decisions, and his effort off the ball is outstanding.
Nevades. This is Basulovic. Go all the way back to Bolu. Absolute dream start here for New Mexico. 8 minutes in, Marco Micheletto rattling the net. El Paso, now searching for an equalizer. Here's Stauffer. And Stauffer is going to be flagged for offside. That is Brian Claerhout, his second season with El Paso. You know, Heather, having coming in just 1 point thus far on this season, this is not how you want to start in a hostile venue like the Lab here.
Not how you want to start. Not how you want to start the year. Not how you want to start the game. But anyone that's been watching this team play, there's something to them. And when you add 3 special players back and you add a little bit of a rivalry, this game's not done yet. You know that El Paso is going to fight back. It's a signature of how they've been since they've been in the USL. So we'll see how they react.
Zico Bailey back to Herbert. The Trinidad and Tobago international, Anthony Herbert. What a ball. Picks out Harris, the goal scorer last week. Here's Quelle. Finds Micheletto, and heavy touch there from the number 10. Quelle again. Marco finds Quelle on the through ball, and Quelle just unable to track that one down. But New Mexico United are cooking early on.
They're ready. Just a bit heavy on that touch, but you can see what the idea is. And if they get to that, there's something special there. There's a cross coming that ends up with a goal.
Alfaro. Got a new hairstyle this week, does Alfaro. Alfaro, this is his first season with El Paso. Bounced around MLS the last few years. Spent some time with DC United, NYCFC, LA Galaxy. Here's Snoffer. You know, and you and I were talking before the match, Coach, and if El Paso is going to get things going, it's most likely going to come from number 4. Stoffer there. Here's Moreno getting down to the byline and just slipping and losing possession. A bit unlucky there.
A bit unlucky. A good run, and you can hear the crowd kind of acknowledging that Moreno's on the field and giving him what, you know, opposing teams do. But fun to see him out playing, especially healthy with the injury he went through here. You see, though, as El Paso plays, they're kind of adjusting their system. They're defending in a different system and attacking a different system. And as the game, you know, starts to progress and you get through these first couple of minutes where the energy's high, it'll be interesting to see how both teams adjust to find that space that's open right now.
Ball behind Calvillo. Stoffer able to save that one from going out. Here's Bolu. Wait, the former Pittsburgh man. This ball chipped forward. Stoffer tracking it down. Plays the cross in, and that was looking dangerous. Justin Dillon, for a moment, was unmarked there in the box.
Paso's finding some success on their left-handed side in the attack, and if they can put one of those crosses a little bit more accurate, New Mexico United could be in trouble.
Hurst goes down. No foul on the Nigerian Bolu Akinyode. Down for Moreno. Moreno crosses. Sent away by Astorga. Here's Basulovic. The playmaker in the midfield. El Paso showing some patience here around the New Mexico 18 as Tony Herbert sends that away.
Patience and then a commitment to put numbers forward. I mean, every time El Paso looks forward right now, there's at least 5 players in the attack. And that means that you're willing to give up a little bit of a counterattack. And, you know, you give up an early goal, you probably want to do that. You want to put numbers forward and see if you can't create something.
Hernandez losing possession. Here's Calvillo now leading the break. Basulovic. There they go looking for Stoffer once again. Stoffer able to control and eventually squanders possession there, but that's really been what El Paso have have been doing for the last few matches here is running most of their stuff through Stauffer.
And if you're a coach and you've been having Stauffer on your team these first couple games, I can totally understand that. He's just a player that when he makes mistakes, there's no reaction. He just keeps playing. He's relentless in what he does, and because of that, he's creating things for this team.
Lucas Stauffer out of Owensboro, Kentucky. Spent last season with Las Vegas Lights, scored 3 goals in 34 appearances.
I think his role in El Paso has helped him. I think that space out wide and kind of being, a player that you don't really know if he's an attacker or defender. Like he plays that line with such grace, and I think that freedom has really, suited his style of play.
Dylan connecting with Stauffer, now playing it forward, it's Moreno. And I think what it was, Heather, is Moreno went back to his natural hairstyle. So I think it might have taken the fans a little bit to recognize him, no longer with the bleached blonde hair at the top.
Yeah, if I'm Moreno, I'm not coming back here with the bleached blonde hair. I'm coming back with the dark hair and hoping nobody knows who I am.
Well, I think they've recognized now who number 10 in white down there is the Boo Birds were out in full chorus on that last touch there for the El Salvadorian.
You know he's expecting it. It's all part of the game. It's when you're part of a team and you come back and you're on a different team, you're going to hear it, but it's all with great love.
And what a ball hit forward here. Harris tracking it down. Dolenmeyer wins possession. And that was something Moreno, alluded to in some comments he made earlier this week. He acknowledged the time that he spent here, some of the memories he made, obviously the big recovery that he had coming off that ACL tear, and just mentioned how the fans, the community, the club all supported him as he unleashes one on Tambakis. And that's a great save there on his former teammate for Alex Tambakis. But, Moreno, he said it, that chapter of my life is now closed. I'm with El Paso, and they're our rivals now.
They are, and as much as, as fans, you want to pick a player and cheer for them, but this is the way it goes. This is professional sports, and you play for different teams, and once you're there, you need to be fully invested, and from that part of it, that's why we all love Moreno here when he was at New Mexico, is because he was fully invested, and now he's at El Paso, and you respect that he's into that team.
There's a look at the Greek joker, Alex Tambakis, making his 91st USL Championship appearance for the black and yellow here this evening. He's got 2 clean sheets in his 3 appearances this year.
1912, our soccer team kicked off for the first time in 2019. The clock reads 19 minutes, 12 seconds. Get loud, get ready. Until 20 minutes, 19 seconds.
Javier Nevarez, 23-year-old out of Juarez. We'll have another go here. Well, we've got a second. Let's tell you that the USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Dolenmeyer hits one forward. Finds the feet of Talon Maples. Paso able to come back into possession. Moreno hits across. Stauffer tracks it down. Another cross goes in. New Mexico able to deal with the pressure momentarily.
Yeah, El Paso, you give up an early goal, and you have a choice of how you're going to respond. And you can see right now they're just going to push numbers forward. They're okay with it. They're okay giving up the bigger ball. They trust they can deal with it. And they're putting pressure on Mexico United. The momentum from the beginning of the game has shifted a little bit here.
20 minutes gone by here at the lab. It was Marco Micheletto finding the back of the net in the 7th minute, putting the black and yellow on top as this one falls to Moreno. He goes down. Ball cleared out. Here's Stauffer. And he's looking to put this ball into the box as Stauffer wraps his foot around it. Going back post. That ball just sent across the face of goal once again. El Paso asking plenty of questions here.
Plenty of questions, and plenty of questions on their left forward, New Mexico United's right side. It seems to be something that in the scouting report they picked, they've identified, and so far it's been successful.
The magic minute here at the lab. We get back to play off that Fiesta Auto free kick. Nevadez just sticks a foot through it. That one kicked off Gloucester, I believe. So throw in here for El Paso.
You can see here in their own defensive half that El Paso's kind of dropping into that clear back five, and starting to see those wide players that are kind of playing as wing backs drop into position. And as the game plays on, that's difficult to do, to be a forward and a defender. But here we go again.
Here's Stauffer. Stauffer one-on-one with Astorga, finds Moreno. Flag stays down. It's still Moreno, and a save by Tambakis. And Alex Tambakis making his money's worth here tonight.
He's earning his keep, isn't he? Yeah. And it keeps again. It's coming down the right-handed side for New Mexico United. So special players for El Paso on that side, and you can see the creativity in the way they're attacking.
So another corner kick coming up here for the visitors. There's Stauffer to send this one in.
El Paso just putting numbers into the box right now, trying to crowd the space for Tambakis, especially with his height and his ability as a goalkeeper. When you make that difficult for him to find the ball, you're hoping for a deflection. You're hoping for just a little bit of a touch that you can create a chance on.
And since scoring that first goal, what have you seen from New Mexico?
It's interesting because when you're coaching, you want to score early and you want to do great, but sometimes when you score early, you kind of awake a beast, and it can shift the momentum of the game. The team that scores can all of a sudden try to defend the lead, and you're not going to defend it for an entire 90 minutes. So it really is trying to find the balance of, once we score, can we continue to put pressure on and continue to do things that led us to that goal. But so far, I think since New Mexico United scored, El Paso's been on, foot on the gas pedal.
Poked out, and the signal given the way of New Mexico. Here's Hernandez. He's been quiet here so far. Tried to connect with Akale going forward. Liam Rose. Rose, the Australian, just 26. Here's Quelle. Dolenmeyer able to head that away, but he concedes the corner. You get an idea of the current conditions. It's a little chilly, but it's mostly windy, and it is a cold, cold wind out there, Coach.
It is a cold wind. It's a cold wind that caused some games at the college to be canceled today. So it's nice that we're able to play this, especially against a quality opponent. And I think you see kind of the effects of the wind on the game so far.
Short corner. Quelle gets it back. He was looking for Herbert there. Astorga just couldn't keep that one in.
This is the point in the game now, like the 20th minute to the 25th minute, where emotions kind of subside and you start to go, okay, it's a chess match. Like what formation works? Where is your space? How do you identify that space? How do you take away the opponent's space? And I think this is really, for me, the fun part of the game, where you start to go, okay, other than just the emotion of playing a rival, how can we be effective here? And both teams are starting to make a little bit of changes and see if they can influence the game.
See both head coaches standing out there on the touchline, very active, very animated. sure they're also just trying to keep warm down there.
No doubt. No doubt. You have to do a little dance to stay warm for the game. But it's two very different styles, too. I mean, you think about one team with one forward and the other team with back five. Like, where is the space? How do you want to identify that? And I think right now you're starting to see New Mexico United to kind of drop their front group off a little bit and keep Hurst high and see if you can occupy the back three. And if you do that, then the half space becomes open, and you're starting to see that now for New Mexico United.
Throw-in awarded to El Paso there. I think they got Hernandez with a handball. Another Fiesta Auto free kick here for Dolenmeyer. Offside flag is up on the El Salvadorian Armando Moreno. Moreno scored a lot of goals here in black and yellow over the last 4 seasons. Had an incredible career wearing the number 10 after taking it over from Kevon Frater. Moreno, 24 goals, 11 assists during his time with the club. And, you know, he touched on it a little bit earlier, Coach, just how he endeared himself to this community and this fan base.
Yeah, with those kind of stats and just kind of the person that he is, and when they leave, it's hard, you know. And there's players that have left the club, and when they're here, nobody even knows they were here. But because he was so good, you feel the emotion tonight. And again, it's just what makes sports great. When you have a player and you have a team and you feel that fan base, and it creates a rivalry, and those are the kind of things that make people show up tonight.
The new era that USL continues on the CBS networks in April. Join us Tuesday, April 9th on CBS Sports Network as Charleston Battery take on Louisville City FC at 7 p.m. Eastern in a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Final. There's a look at our officiating group here this evening. Matt Thompson running the show. Hernandez momentarily kept possession. Not quite sure what that was. It kind of looked like a stoppage. Daquignote.
You can see tactically here, like when El Paso drops in their defensive half, there's definitely a back five. But when they attack, they're very much left-sided. And you can see they're adjusting the way that they do those things to make sure that their countermeasures protect the left side. And here we go again.
Moreno. And he has it poked away by Tony Herbert. And what a big-time defensive play there.
Unbelievable touch. That looked like a goal.
For Tony Herbert making just his 3rd appearance for the club, being assigned a pretty big task.
A very big task. And you can see here El Paso's, again, there's 6 players forward in the press. Like, they want New Mexico United to play small, and they want to press the game, and we'll see what they do here. There was an opportunity to play big, especially on the right-handed side right now. They're tempting New Mexico United to play a little bit more direct.
Akale. There's Micheletto now. Perhaps just a half-second late on that through ball there. Looking for Dayon Harris. Here's Stauffer. Astorga, he's been out on Stauffer Island plenty of times here early on tonight, and I have a feeling that's not going to be even half of what he sees here tonight. They keep going back to number 4 over and over and over.
I want no part of Stauffer Island. That's not a vacation. He is just relentless in the way he runs at you. And you can see him when he finds himself in isolation. He's not thinking about anything other than going at you. He's not playing negative. He's not passing. He's looking to get in line and create crosses. And he's been very successful tonight.
Here's Quelle. Astorga now. Storga tried to poke it forward for Harris.
They see it. There's 2 attacks now where they're trying to find that wide player and they're just mishitting the final pass. But if they can clean up the quality of that, they're in.
Laid off beautifully there by Harrison. Hurst goes down. The keeper is down, and we're going to see a yellow card shown to Greg Hurst here, I believe, once he gets up, as Jamali Waite took some contact there, and Hurst and Waite both down.
Hard to see. It looked like a good 50-50 battle. We'll have to watch the replay to kind of see what happened here, but clearly the referee feels like that was something on Greg Hurst.
Hurst being tended to by Nicoletto. Let's have another look here at this TLC replay.
It doesn't look like the initial tackle, but it does look like there may have been kind of a late follow through with his right foot here.
Nicoletto finishes it just for good measure, but as of right now, Hurst and Jamali Waite both still down. You can see Hurst pleading his case to the official. Unfortunately, the official has now been holding on to that yellow card for a solid 60 seconds, so I don't think it's going back into that pocket anytime soon.
That might be where Hurst is staying down a little bit longer. He doesn't want to stand up and receive it. There it is.
There we go. 32nd minute yellow card for Greg Hurst.
Yeah, I don't think it was the initial tackle, but it did look like there was kind of a late follow through, and that could be what the referee saw.
Now for El Paso, is Jamali Waite okay? As you see it, you saw it on the replay there. He took a shot there, sort of to the midsection. Visibly in some pain as we get another look. Hernandez, what a ball that was played through there. It was Liam Rose that just got a foot to it, and there's the contact occurring. So Jamali Waite looks to be okay. He's up on his feet. Greg Hurst has been shown a yellow card. That yellow card brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. And some of the black and yellow faithful in attendance tonight, not impressed.
Not impressed. Never going to be. Always have to cheer for your hometown team.
It's the Scotsman there, Greg Hurst. Hurst scored the opening match day this season to beat Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Missed a penalty last weekend in Phoenix. Actually had it saved from Rocco Rios Novo.
Just kind of taking on a new role this year with the team. I think last year he was more of kind of a target 9 posting up, and this year you see him make these dynamic runs like he just did, and it's fun to see him do that. He's been very successful so far. Here he is again.
Here's Quelle. Ball at his feet. Overlapping run here from Astorga. Nicoletto immediately closed down by Basulovic and Dillon. Here's Gloucester on the near side. 23-year-old out of New Jersey. Talon Maples, the former Houston Dynamo 2-man. Maples was the captain there over the last few seasons. Hernandez, it's a risky tackle there from Nicky Hernandez.
It's a little bit of a patience game for New Mexico United right now. It's almost like El Paso's tempting them with playing such a high line in a back 3, and when do you go direct and how do you go direct, and they're going to make them pay, because if they keep doing that, they're getting closer to these past couple attacks. Really high energy defensive pressure from Coach Quill's team right now. I mean, you can see they're bought into how they're going to defend, and they do it for each other. It's not individual.
Here's Hernandez. Hernandez goes down. No foul, says the official. And we play on. I think I'd be keen to have another look at that one there, Coach.
I'm excited to see the replay. It'll be interesting to see if Nicky was trying to sell that one or if he got hit. But from here, it looked like it was definitely a foul.
Good ball played forward. Here's Moreno now. Hits the brakes, does Moreno. The flag goes up on the far side. Ball went over the end line as we're going to get another look here. This was that touch there from Hernandez. Good eye from the official down there.
Good eye from the official down low, yeah. It looked like his touch got away from him a little bit, and he decided to sell it, which is exactly what you want a player to do. If you're not going to get to it, can you draw a call? But didn't work this time.
Hernandez, the former San Antonio man.
New Mexico United choosing to play long now, with El Paso pressing so many numbers forward. It'll be interesting to see if they can find some kind of success from playing big early.
Calvillo, the captain, surrenders possession, and it goes all the way back to Tambakis. Storga does well there.
Coach Quill wants to play a possession-based style. He wants to build in. He wants to find bigger passes. And, chance here.
Moreno has it go and parried away by Alex Tambakis. And that is the third time that Armando Moreno has gotten a clean look at Tambakis' goal. I don't think it's going to be long before he shakes the net.
He is pushing for it right now. He's trying to show the local fans what we're missing, and you have to admire that kind of strength from him.
Stauffer back once again for another corner as we have another couple looks at that TLC replay. Armando Moreno doing everything he can to score in his return to the lab. Corner goes in. That was Alfaro, and up and over the bar. Another night, another stellar performance from big number one down there for New Mexico.
You just kind of start to expect it, don't you? I mean, he's consistent. He shows up. He makes the saves he's supposed to make, and there's nothing more you can ask for from a goalkeeper than that.
And it's something that we've said on this broadcast before, but New Mexico very fortunate to come into Alex Tambakis so late when they did after the departure of Cody Mizell when he left almost just before the season started back in 2021. He moved on to NYCFC. Tambakis came in a few weeks before that season started, and he has been just an absolute stalwart in goal.
He has, and Mizell now coaching in the MLS with former coach Troy Lesane, which is exactly what you want to see. You come here, you have a great career, and you get a chance to keep coaching.
Through ball here, and a big defensive play once again from Tony Herbert. The 25-year-old making just his third appearance here in the USL Championship with some massive moments so far.
It's kind of a battle right now. It's a battle of systems, and it's a battle of how you want to play. Like, even right now, New Mexico United can play big early when they have their attacking shape, but they're choosing to shut down when they play big. And at some point, you kind of wonder if they're going to play big into the press and see if they can't find those numbers high early.
Tambakis looks like he found the head there of Dolenmeyer, but falls to Gloucester. Gloucester spent some time with the PSV reserve team. Great sliding challenge there from Hernandez. And Hernandez is fouled. So a Fiesta Auto free kick coming up here for New Mexico. Calvillo pleading his case out there. Take another look at this TLC replay. Down went Bailey there. think that was a foul.
I think that was a foul. Yeah, I think that was a foul. I think, the first or the third could have been a foul. The second one looked like a little bit soft, but I think that was a good call.
So free kick here for New Mexico. Akale has to set the ball at least. Also got Micheletto and Dayon Harris there as well. It's going to be Akale. Micheletto goes back to Akale, right off the training ground this one, and just unable to connect.
Something that definitely worked on, but there's a balance. Like you start to think, can I put a ball in the box? Can I put numbers in there? Can we make it difficult? And it's always difficult. Do you want to try to build and create like a bit of a mismatch? And we'll see if Coach Quill in the second half wants to put that ball in the box early.
41st minute here at the Lab. The 7th minute strike from Marco Micheletto, the difference here. Stauffer and Herbert, both number 4s coming together. Fans can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access. Tuesdays, you can catch that at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new SXM app. Here's Harris. Over the head of everybody there from Dayon Harris, the former Tampa Bay Rowdies man. Dayon Harris, the Canadian, with the assist on the goal for Marco Micheletto earlier. What did you see there, Coach?
Yeah, just both teams really pressing numbers forward. And I think either team that can break that press early and play direct, they have a chance. They just have to be technical in that final third. But both teams are so committed to pressing because they know the other team wants to play. But you're starting to see now if the opposing team can play direct and keep the ball, they're going to be successful.
It's the converted defensive mid, Bolu Akinyode. Kind of see Liam Rose here dropping back as almost as a fourth defender.
Yeah, New Mexico and their mid block are putting more numbers back. So we'll see if El Paso can find a way to break that down. But it still seems like they're very, very much focused on attacking the left side of their attack through Stauffer. I can't think of a cross so far that's come from the right side.
I completely agree.
Yeah. What a ball.
Ball finds Harris. He's one of the fastest men in the USL Championship. Dayon Harris just sends it wide. He was looking for his second goal in as many matches after being the goal scorer out in the Valley of the Sun last weekend. And Dayon Harris, electric out there.
Such a good ball, such a good run. And he's in a really difficult spot. Because if you talk about the goal zone and statistically where he should shoot or cross from, he's right on the line there, so you have to make a decision, and just a tough one. Missed it by inches.
What a goal that would have been for Dayon Harris. And you talk about finding ways to endear yourself to these fans. Scoring against Phoenix and then El Paso in back-to-back weeks would be one of the best ways. Ball goes in from Basulovic. Headed away. Here's Stauffer. Great interception there by Astorga, New Mexico. Off to the races once again. Here's Harris. And there you just see the sheer speed of Dayon Harris, and that is not good. He came up limping and went down. And Dayon Harris is down on the pitch behind the play.
Not something you want to see after a run like that. Yeah, he's still down.
And he's looks to be grabbing at his left leg there. That is scary sight as he was running full speed. He has not let go of his knee at all since dropping down to the grass, and that is the Director of Sports Medicine. That's Carlos Olivas out checking on him.
Something you never want to see. You just don't ever want to see players get hurt. Doesn't matter which team, especially when they're working that hard and having so much success so far in the season. So let's hope he gets up and feels okay.
And we were just talking about how stellar he has been, not just tonight, obviously, but being the goal scorer there last week in Phoenix, where he was causing tons of problems for the defending champs. And this is a very quiet moment here at the lap.
Yeah, he's a dynamic player, and he's a player that, because he has such good speed, I bet you he gets frustrated that he gets labeled the fast player because he's so technically gifted as well. He makes great runs. He's a very smart player. You have to hope he jumps up here for New Mexico United and for him.
Just trying to see what might have happened as he ran through. And didn't see a whole lot there, and so hopefully Harris is okay. He's up back on his feet. Well, he's walking on his own, which is a good sign. So hopefully he's able to get in the locker room here coming up. Just hopefully get a little bit of treatment there.
Thumbs up from the trainer, too. That's
looks to be
a great
all right.
sign. Yeah.
He was ready to get back on, and the linesman said not yet.
Yeah, there he goes. Center calls him on now. Good to see him run back on.
During that injury stoppage, we've now entered New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time. 5 minutes added on. I'm sure there's going to be just a little bit more than that. Great coffee since '94. This ball played forward. And there he is again. Dan Harris. And this time he goes straight off. And I think that might be the end of the night for Dayon Harris.
You have to hope not, but when you come on here a little bit gingerly in the way that you move and you get touched there, yeah, that's not what you want to see.
Harris, you can see he was moving just fine, and it was Dolenmeyer that came in. And immediately Harris pulled that leg up, and he's still trying to soldier on, it looks like. So 2.5 minutes gone by of the minimum of 5 added. It's going to be a Fiesta Auto free kick here for New Mexico. Akale sends this one in. Back to Bailey. This ball is going to go out for a goal kick. So that injury really just took all the air out of the game.
It did, yeah. It tends to do that, but you hope the player's okay, and now we roll into halftime, and you kind of think both teams are going to make an adjustment, and we'll see how they come out in the second half. I think both teams want the ball, but the direct ball is on, and so one of them is going to choose to make a decision to adjust the way they play and try and find a victory here.
New Mexico were looking to break once again, but the pass from Hernandez behind Micheletto. Harris looks to be okay. He's out moving once again.
Great to see.
Moreno connects with Stauffer. This Moreno goes down there. No problems there for Alex Tambakis.
Easy save, easy call for the ref. No decisions there.
The 31-year-old goalkeeper Alex Tambakis wearing the captain's armband here tonight. No Kalen Ryden, as we mentioned earlier in the match. He's on the injury report. Here's Quelle. Hurst knew he was offside. He held his run. Dillon looking to win this header. Really just a couple of long balls going back and forth here between the two sides.
Yeah, you're not seeing much of a flow this kind of final bit of it. Part of it is the injury, part of it is just trying to figure out tactically what you want to do, but that's the exciting part about a halftime is what decisions do you want to make? How do you want to come out and kind of exploit the opponent and find your strengths? And I think both teams have an opportunity to do that here.
Here's Nevadez. He's looking to pick out Stauffer there on the far side. Bailey. Zico's taken down and reaching for his pocket once again. It's going to be a yellow card, I believe, on Nevadez. You see Nevadez having a little bit of a conversation down there. So 5 minutes into first half stoppage, we've got a yellow card. There it is, coming in. Yikes.
Yikes. Yeah, you saw the team kind of calling for a different color there, and now you know why. Very, very late.
So that's another yellow card here tonight, brought to you by the guys over at Ferguson Law Firm. Past the 5 minutes that were initially allotted here. Of course, a couple of injuries. Really no surprise. First 45 in the books. It's Marco Micheletto in the 7th minute scoring his first goal in New Mexico United black and yellow as the difference. What did you see there in that first half there, Coach?
You know, honestly, I can't wait to see how both teams come out in the second half. I think there's a clear division of tactics, and this is your chance as a coach to make an impact on the game. You don't get to do it being on the field, so halftime is your chance to really kind of identify different weaknesses and try to expose them in the opponent.
It's halftime. Your score, New Mexico United 1, El Paso Locomotive FC 0, brought to you by First Financial Credit Union. We'll go ahead and step aside. We'll be back on the other side of this with halftime.
With more ways to win, whatever game you play, Sandia Resort Casino. Now more than ever. Close to home, far from ordinary.
New Mexico is where it all started. Climbing with my dad. And by 16, I was climbing on the World Cup circuit. Scaling limestone walls and desert caves. It's where I feel free.
back here at the lab. It is halftime in the 16th edition, regular season edition, that is, of the Derby del Camino Real. New Mexico United on top 1-0 over El Paso Locomotive FC. It was Marco Micheletto scoring 7 minutes in. It was his first goal in New Mexico United colors. Let's go ahead and have a look here at some of our halftime programming, starting off with the upcoming schedule brought to you by the Somos Unidos Foundation. Plenty of good matches coming up, especially tonight, next weekend as well. As we look, we've got some Western Conference action with Oakland Roots hosting Monterey Bay, Las Vegas Lights hosting at San Antonio FC. Make sure to check those out after our match ends. Kickoff coming up in about half an hour there between Las Vegas and San Antonio. More upcoming matches next weekend. El Paso making the trip out to the Bay Area. They'll be taking on Oakland Roots. Las Vegas taking on Monterey Bay. FC Tulsa squaring off against Sac Republic. Got some other action is New Mexico going across the country to take on North Carolina FC. That in a couple of weeks. Let's have a look now at our Western Conference standings. New Mexico, 4 games played, sitting in 4th place. They've got 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. That's good enough for 7 points on the young season. Meanwhile, El Paso got to look towards the bottom. They're in second to last, just ahead of Colorado Springs, as we mentioned, still on the hunt for their first win this season, coming into tonight having scored just 1 goal here through their first 4.5 matches. News and notes coming up next, and we've got some really cool stuff to talk about here in this one. As we mentioned earlier in the first half, make sure to check it out. USL Championship's first ever broadcast on CBS Sports Network. That taking place this coming Thursday, 5 p.m. Mountain Time against Charleston. It's Charleston Battery against Louisville City FC. And also another USL Championship team has been announced. Buffalo to join the USL Championship in 2026. And of course, who can forget, it is Open Cup season. New Mexico United entering the 3rd round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. They are going to be playing against the Lubbock Matadors on April 16th. Now we have a look at our team of the week here. A lot of familiar names. You see Ray Serrano there from Louisville City FC. Maxi Rodriguez, your player of the week from Detroit City. Nate Steinwasher, the rock and goal for Detroit City, getting the nod at the goalkeeper. And Danny Cruz, head coach from Louisville City FC, gets the nod as your coach of the week. Halftime here, still at the lab. It's still chilly. It's still windy. Still 1-0. New Mexico United on top of El Paso Locomotive FC.
Women's game. They want to see women's soccer, they want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL. You can see it in my eyes, only want the best. Everybody never night won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky, got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
You've given us a foundation to be proud of. We build on this now. This is it now, gents. This is us from now on.
We held our second annual United in Our Ability Soccer Clinic down at Kramer Fields here in Albuquerque, joined by 100 kids for a fun day of soccer, tifo making, and a watch party. Just check this out. It's tons of cool stuff going on here.
This is what New Mexico United is. It's not just
for Prism Autism Services. Prism implements ABA therapy with our individuals, and that's what we implement with our kids. We teach them basic skills on, early child development.
My name's Jeremiah Sibley. I play striker and I play goalkeeper. United in Our Abilities. It's for here and all the other places. It's good to get out there, have some, not just sitting on the couch like I used to do, but it's nice to be out there, have some fun, feel the sunshine, kick the ball, and make some goals.
I think it means the world to them, you know what I mean? It's just the look on their faces, the look in their eyes, and the opportunity to, go out there and just be equal and also be a part of United. United is so popular here in the community of Albuquerque. They know exactly what they're being a part of, and that's amazing.
Big smiles, big smiles.
Just incredible stuff there from the Somos Unidos Foundation. Big tip of the cap to Linnea Romero and her team for the effort that they put in there. Let's have a look now at our first half highlights, brought to you by the guys over at Ferguson and Associates. We're here for you, and we're here to win, as this one got the party started. An absolute banger from Marco Micheletto, 7 minutes in, his first goal for New Mexico.
You cannot ask for a better start than that, and a better finish than that. Just such a quality ball and an unbelievable finish.
Just can't strike a ball better than that, as we said. And I think you said earlier, Coach, he could tell the keeper what was going to happen, and I don't think he would have stopped it. It's just an incredible strike there from the former Columbus crew too, man. But El Paso had some questions that they were asking themselves, and a lot of it was run through Stauffer and resulting in some shots for Moreno, looking at Alex Tambakis' goal.
They did. New Mexico United can't be comfortable right now. I mean, I think you have the lead going into the half, but I don't think anyone's going this game is over.
Tambakis still working to preserve the clean sheet. It's halftime here. Let's have a look at the stats. What do these numbers here tell you, Coach?
I mean, I think it's a little bit scary if you're New Mexico United. Possession is 61%, and that's not what you want. And especially with 3 offside, you're thinking they're walking the line right there and creating some quality chances. So something that you think New Mexico United wants to calm the game down a little bit, keep the ball a little bit more, and try and find better quality chances for themselves.
Especially when you look at that XG, both nestled in right there at that 0.2 mark. This one could get interesting in the second half. Speaking of the second half, we've got that coming up here for you in just a moment, as we'll step aside, catch our breath, and get ready for the second 45 coming up after this.
One, two, three, yeah. I tell the guy and he told me keep moving. I'm at the show and they told me keep grooving. If it ain't me, tell me who else gonna do it. I'ma just do it. I'ma just do it. I'm at the top of my city, I'm Tulip. Bitch said that I be the hottest improving. Every day I see the fruits of improvement. I'ma just do it. I'ma just do it.
Hey, grab me one too.
With more ways to win, Whatever game you play, Sandia Resort Casino. Now more than ever. Close to home, far from ordinary.
Win on three, 1, 2, 3. I tell the guy and he told me keep moving. I'm at the show and they told me keep grooving. If it ain't me, tell me who else gonna do it. I'ma just do it. I'ma just do it. I'm at the top of my city, I'm tooling. Bitch said that I be the hottest improving. Every day I see the fruits of improvement. I'ma just do it. I'ma just do it.
Back here at the lab, New Mexico 1, El Paso 0 as the teams back on the pitch here for the second half. Tyler Ortega joined by Heather Dyke. And Coach, this has been a fun first 45 minutes.
A really enjoyable game so far. And I think this part of it is going to be the best part of the game. Who makes the adjustments, who finds the space, who kind of finds a way to exploit the weaknesses. And that's the best part about coming out of halftime.
Now, your day job, you're a coach. You're usually down there on the touchline, but you're up here tonight, up in the booth. What are you seeing from these sides, and what sort of adjustments would you make if you were down there?
It's a lot less stressful up here. It's a lot less stressful up here. But, you know, this is the best part about the game. This is why it's a world's game. It's a chess match. And you think you spend 95% of the game without the ball. So where's the space? How do players occupy it? How do you exploit it? How do you cause the opponent problems? And that, to me, is the greatest part about this game, is that there's so many players in such a big space and only one ball.
I think that was so eloquently said. That was brilliant there. As far as tactical changes, you know, you and I were just talking a little bit here before we came back from break. You were talking about playing direct. Talk a little bit about that and what that could possibly do for these teams.
Yeah, I think when there's a commitment to keep the ball, and both teams have that. They both want the ball. They both want to play nice, aesthetically looking soccer. They want to keep possession. But ultimately, if you're going to press high and you're going to commit numbers, there's an opportunity when you build to play direct early. And I think if either team can find that and be successful with that, not consistently, but every once in a while, there's a chance to find a goal there.
One change at the half. As you can imagine, the New Mexico United technical staff saw that knee injury twice there flare up for Dayon Harris. He has been substituted, making his appearance here tonight. It's Harry Swartz. It's his 77th league appearance for New Mexico United since he joined the club back in 2021. And so you're going to see 33 now flying up and down the far side flank here over the second 45.
Yeah, huge luxury for New Mexico United, too. You lose a great player and you bring a great player on. I mean, that's exactly what Coach Quill wants to do.
Harry Swartz scored 6 goals in 31 appearances last year. Scored 6 goals in 29 appearances in 2022. He's up to 12 in his black and yellow career after coming over from Hartford. Swartz actually scored here at home on the final match day last year against Memphis. Bailey goes down. Excuse me, that was Nicky Hernandez. It's a Fiesta Auto free kick. So Fiesta Auto free kick coming up here for New Mexico is Hernandez is a little ginger getting up.
He's taken a few hits tonight. He puts himself into some situations. He's not afraid of a 50-50, and you like that, but it also means that you're going to get a few kicks every night.
Well, and I think that was something that we saw quite a bit last weekend out in Phoenix. Is Hernandez spent a little bit of time down. He was injured. He was just constantly putting himself in those positions, sort of just being a little bit of a thorn in the side there of Phoenix Rising. Eventually was subbed off, I think 102 minutes into that one.
He's a player you want on your team and you don't want to play against.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Looking here for Justin Dillon. Alfaro now. Alfaro has that cross dealt with by Gloucester. El Paso They've failed to score a first half goal in 4 of their 5 matches this season. No other team has failed to do so more often in the USL Championship this season, and so that just tells you just the offensive struggles.
The offensive struggles, yeah, but it's
kind of strange, right? Just from what we saw in that first half.
It is strange, but it all kind of makes sense. Like, you play great soccer, you put the ball in the box, and you're just missing that final piece. And the great part about the USL season is that it's so dynamic. It changes constantly, and I think if you're a coach, you have to focus on the process. And if they keep doing what they're doing, those goals will come. You saw great soccer from both teams. And you have to believe in that process. If you're doing the right things, that at some point it's going to pay off. And I think for El Paso, they have nothing to be worried about right now. They're very quality side.
Very quality side. Mondo Moreno, you see some proven guys out there like Justin Dillon, Arun Basilovic. And then you look on their bench, and they've got Tumi Moshoban sitting there as well. And so there's certainly some firepower that they can bring on to change the complexion of this game. And here's Harry Swartz. Finds Zico.
I think in any league, too, you have these games that matter, and there's games that develop. And as much as the fans want all of them to be both, they're not. You play these games that are outside of your conference or are not necessarily going to put you in the playoffs, and you have to use those as opportunities to get players confidence and to build relationships between players and to learn how people play and where they want the ball and what are their strengths. And I think we're still in that filling out process with the USL season. How do you develop a partnership with the people around you?
Well, not just that. I mean, you look at this, and specifically this New Mexico United team, 10 new players on the squad this season. And so almost half the dressing room is a new team, and that doesn't factor in the guys that were brought in mid-season last year when Eric Quill took over, like Jacobo Reyes, like Nicky Hernandez, like Zico Bailey. We're just talking the new guys that came in, during the off-season. And so when you look at this, it's going to take time for the chemistry to build, for these guys to feel each other out, for the coaching staff also to figure out who's most effective where, right?
Yeah, without question. And it's the nuances. It's what foot do they want it on? What is their speed? How do they beat people? When do they make runs? And then for coaches, it's kind of going, who grinds? Who do you want on at the end of the game? Who do you want on when you're down a goal? Who do you want when you're up a goal? And those things, they take time. And the best teams and the teams that we're all the biggest fans of, they've had that time.
Moreno tried the turn, but the door slammed shut by the Trinidad and Tobago international Tony Herbert. The former FC Haka man, Tony Herbert. Tallest player on the team. Might just be the tallest player on the pitch right now. Stauffer sends the corner in.
Really good ball in that corner, kind of in between the 6 and the penalty spot, like trying to make it difficult for the goalkeeper to make a decision.
And Alfaro came in. He knew exactly what he was doing. A yellow card shown to Tony Alfaro.
Smart play by Alfaro. You'll happily take a card there to give up the breakaway. To not give up the breakaway, it's a professional foul.
A yellow card brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm, as Quelle went down immediately, started asking for the card and got it. And Akale goes down, and immediately it was Alfaro, the offender, and he's got to be very careful.
It looked a little bit late from here. We'll have to see the replay, but to your point, you don't want to lose that player. He's been outstanding tonight.
It's kind of going through the back there of Quelle Akale, as Akale still down. And Alfaro receiving a talking to from the official here. This Matt Thompson. And Thompson, I'm sure he's telling him, you get one more chance.
You get one more chance. You do that again, you're not gonna be here. Or he's talking to him about hairdos and different colors. And you don't know, but I think you're right, Tyler.
Here's Gloucester. New Mexico back on the attack. Gloucester able to poke this one over to Harry Swartz. And it's Dolenmeyer playing it out. It's going to be a throw in here for New Mexico. '53rd minute here at the lap. Chris Gloucester. So far this season, 5 clearances, 6 interceptions. Here's Micheletto. Micheletto just trying to dance around the defenders. Is that poked away?
There's an opportunity for United, like on a weak side diagonal ball, and like you can even start to see it build up here. It's because they're playing with those wing backs, they're willing to leave the high wide forward open. But it can't be early. It has to be one ball in and then the big ball. So if you can find a pocket player, find a high player, and then play that next one, it's on. And I think you're starting to see New Mexico United probe for it. It's just the efficiency of that final ball now. But it's on. It's a weak side diagonal.
Akale sees that one go out as Alfaro. I have a feeling Alfaro and Akale, they're going to be best friends by the end of this 90 minutes.
Best friends, and we're going to be booing someone else at the next game.
Micheletto. Just a savvy player, Marco Micheletto.
He really is. It's fun to watch him off the ball. He reads the game well. There's not a lot of unnecessary movement. His decision-making is quality. He can put a little bit of texture on the ball that a lot of players just aren't doing. He's a great player to watch. New Mexico United kind of dropping into a mid-block here, too, which will be interesting to see what El Paso wants to do about that.
Here's Nevadez. Goes back to Basulovic. Basulovic able to win the throw. Arun Basulovic, former Monterey Bay man, former OKC Energy man, even spent time with Fresno FC back in 2019. Zico now turns. And here's a fun stat. Basulovic actually was the starting forward for Fresno FC in the very first ever match that New Mexico United played. It was here at the Lab March 9th, 2019. It was a 1-1 draw that day.
It's all tied together. The smallest world on earth is soccer, you know. Everyone knows everyone. Everyone's played against each other. It's what makes it the beautiful game.
Swartz looking to track this one down. Swartz able to win the corner there off of Dolenmeyer.
Smart, patient play from United there, just kind of allowing Swartz to get up a little bit higher. And it's something you love about him, is that every time he gets the ball, he's going to make a play. Like he's just relentless in his passion to drive the end line and get something out of it. And it happens all the time in his history here at New Mexico United. He's a quality player.
Micheletto heading over for the corner kick. A little juggling show on his way over.
Yeah, casually showing off for the fans.
Here's Micheletto. A short corner. Quelle finds Zico. Looking back for Quelle, and Waite pushes that one wide, and it's going to be another corner kick here for New Mexico.
Really well drawn up corner there from Coach Quill. I mean, that was fun to watch. Just create numbers up and allow the players kind of the patience to see what happens and be creative. That was fun to watch. Looks like they're going to do it here again. a 3v1 over in the corner.
Quelle decides to keep it this time. Does Quelle? Back post. And it goes into the side netting. And that was the big man at the back post, Tony Herbert, looking for his first New Mexico United goal.
Another really outstanding corner kick from Coach Quell.
Not a ton of size out there for New Mexico, but if you're going to put one in the box,
put it up for the 6'4" guy.
Certainly try to find big number 4 there, Tony Herbert.
Absolutely.
It's a great look on that replay, how high Herbert got on that leap.
Yeah, and just to trust in your players. You have a 3v1 out wide, let them make the decision. And I think that's what players want, the freedom to be who they are. And it kind of fun to see from Coach Quill twice in a row there.
Bailey was looking for the foul. Didn't get it. Still going to be a throw in here for New Mexico. Got some score updates there for you up in the top left corner of your screen. Oakland, Monterey Bay, 11 minutes in, scoreless. Pittsburgh and Rowdies played to a scoreless draw, and full-time Colorado Springs still looking for their first win on the season as Sac Republic puts 2 past them. Here's Schwartz, looking to get by Dolenmeyer, and the sliding challenge successful there. 24-year-old Noah Dolenmeyer spent last season with El Paso, also spent some time with LAFC 2. Here's Hernandez, finds Astorga. Micheletto back for Astorga, and it's Alfaro able to get a touch to it.
New Mexico United in the final third, there's a patience this year that's a little bit different than previous years. I mean, and they're really looking to build and create, like make sure they're playing the odds. Like you're shooting from the correct spaces, you're crossing from the correct angles, and I think that's paying off for them. It's been fun to watch.
So 60 minutes gone by here in this one. Still 1-0. And that's the thing about El Paso just coming into this one. They may not score a lot, but they also don't give up a ton of goals either. They haven't given up more than 1 goal in any match this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you go into this game and you don't know the record of both teams, there's no way that you think this team hasn't won a game yet. I mean, they're a quality side. They're good all over the field. They're good on both sides of the ball, and scoring goals is hard. As a fan, you think like, man, that looks so easy. It's just not. It's really, really difficult to do, or we'd all be paid a lot more money. So it'll come. It'll come as long as they're doing the right things, and they are. So defending well, playing the ball well. They have a clear identity.
First making the run. Schwartz plays the ball, but it's cut out there by Dolenmeyer. Dolenmeyer, he's been asked to come up big here as well tonight, and he has. Pressure, though, from Micheletto, resulting in the turnover. And Jamali Waite has to come out and grab that one. You see the defensive press of New Mexico creating some issues here for El Paso.
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you give the ball away, you want to make sure that you have a counter press. Like, you have to have players that are on the field, even when you're in possession, thinking about if we lose it, how do we prevent them from scoring? And I think both teams, their counter press has been really good tonight. Like it's difficult to find anything in transition.
Dylan lays this one off. Here's Nevadez. And Nevadez just loses control and then fouls Gloucester. And Nevadez, he's got to be careful. He's also on a yellow card. Nevadez and Alfaro both for El Paso. Here's Quelle. Micheletto hits this one forward as Hernandez made the run, and he's getting a little messy here for El Paso. Moreno now turns. There's Nevades. Nevades has a shot. That was going wide the entire way.
Yeah, a little ambitious if you think you're going to beat Timbacas from 35 out.
Timbacas in no hurry here. The 1-0 lead.
Even, I mean, this half, you start to see El Paso, like they're really pressing kind of in a 3-1-4-2. It's a lot of numbers pushed forward. They're willing to take the risk to try and find the win here.
New Mexico playing deep out of their own half.
It's a really big space in between the back three and the kind of midfield one. And I think if New Mexico United starts to put players there, they're going to find more opportunity to score, which you start to see them doing now. They're pushing more numbers forward in their build-up.
Well done there by the El Paso native, Arturo Astorga. Fans, eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball free to play. Download now. Gloucester looking to connect with Swartz. He does. Swartz and Gloucester playing a little two-man game over there. Gloucester goes down. He's still down. Immediately calling for the trainer as Gloucester, I believe, might have been grabbing for his head or neck area. So 65 minutes gone by in this one. Let's have another look at this TLC replay here. Nine Gloucester there towards the middle of your screen. Oh, just inadvertent coming together. The crown of Dolenmeyer's head eating Gloucester's face, and ouch.
Yeah, ouch is right, and you just want to make sure that he's okay. I mean, concussions and making sure that any head-to contact, that he's safe and able to return to play.
So you've got a quick glance down at the El Paso technical area. It looks like a couple of subs coming on for Locomotive. Indeed, it's going to be Tumi Moshoban and Nick Hines.
You called it, Tyler. I mean, they have some weapons on the bench, and they brought them in. So we'll see how those players can impact the game.
So Pasulovic makes way. Didn't see who the other player to go off was. We'll work on getting that for you there. Those substitutions brought to you by the Somos Unidos Foundation. Positive outcomes for every New Mexican. And El Paso already looking for an equalizer with a couple of fresh sets of legs on the pitch.
That was an impressive build-up. An impressive build-up with a finish they're going to want back. Great little through ball out wide.
It was who else but Stauffer putting the cross in. And I believe it was Dylan just unable to redirect that one on frame. Indeed it was. Justin Dillon, the former San Antonio man, played at San Antonio the last 3 seasons. He scored against New Mexico United here at the lab. Scored 16 goals over the last 3 seasons for SAFC. Of course, won the 2022 title there in 29 appearances. Scored 6 goals that season. Hurst winning hard. Dylan was actually teammates that season with Zico Bailey and also Nicky Hernandez. Calvillo plays this one forward. It's Hines. Nick Hines, the Jamaican. Hines has been in El Paso the last 3 seasons. Prior to that, Austin Bold. R.I.P. Austin Bolt. Official coming in quickly. Nick Hines, it looks like, is asking why.
Yeah, you almost kind of feel like that was a call just to say we're not going to let it get that chippy. Like you start to feel it all over the field, and it kind of felt like the ref just saying, "Let's just play. Let's not make it about anything other than soccer."
Just 3 yellow cards handed out between the two sides here tonight. It feels like we might be lacking a little when you consider these two teams that are playing. Here's Nicky Hernandez off the turn, finds Harry Swartz. Cross goes in. Akale, shot is blocked.
Tough to see from here. There's a few players in the field calling for a handball. Good to see the replay. It looked like he may have had his arms behind his back, though.
Didn't see very many appeals from the United players.
Maybe more the fans than the players, which is not always a good indicator.
Oh, and that ball given away. So New Mexico looked to put the pressure on once again. And you know, they would love nothing more than to find a second here.
A second goal, I think, kind of kills the momentum of both teams. I think it would, drain the energy of this El Paso team, especially with a team that's struggling to find victories. When you go down 2-0, you start to doubt yourself and doubt your ability to score. And on the other hand, if they get one back, then it might ignite a fire, So I think this next goal might be the most important one in the game. But you kind of feel it building right now.
We've mentioned a few times this is the 16th regular season clash between these two sides. The points, in case you're wondering, the all-time series, totally shared. 4 wins for each side, 7 draws.
That's a true rivalry right there. If in 16 matches you come out even, that's when you know.
Incredible stuff. Of course, El Paso does hold the edge in the one postseason matchup back in the shortened 2020 season, dumping New Mexico United on penalty kicks in the second round. But aside from that, this rivalry has been all square, and you can sort of see why, just the way this match has gone.
Yeah, you can. And I think you have 2 programs that are very committed to their team. You have 2 fan bases that are passionate about their program, and it's great when you have that, especially in the Southwest. Geographically, we're so isolated. And so when you have teams that are that close and they kind of balance each other out, it makes it a lot more fun to watch. Looks like we have a cramp on the field here.
Dolenmeyer, and I don't think that's really any surprise with the amount of ground he has been covering here over the opening 70 minutes.
Yeah, really good player, and he's put in some unbelievable late tackles, clean late tackles that have been important to preventing crosses, preventing shots, preventing through balls.
Well, we've got a moment here. We'll take care of some housekeeping, let you know about Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Look like Will Seymour just going to chat down there with Harry Swartz, maybe.
Yeah, maybe an adjustment here. Maybe an adjustment in how they're defending for the final 20 minutes here.
New Mexico searching for their 3rd clean sheet in 5 matches. Last time New Mexico defeated El Paso here at the Lab, you got to go all the way back to season 1 for both of these clubs, 2019. Since then, El Paso able to avoid defeat, and in fact, they've walked out of here with 3 points in their last 2 visits.
That's an impressive stat. It's not an easy place to win.
A couple of sliding challenges, and now El Paso off to the races. Ball turned over. It was Astorga with the interception. What a flick from Hernandez. Here goes Astorga. And Astorga, that attempt thwarted there by Dolenmeyer, but what a story that would have been for the El Paso native to score against his hometown club.
Yeah, nothing more special than scoring on the place that he came from. But again, of all the people that were going to make the tackle, it's Dolenmeyer. Like he just finds himself in those positions to make game-saving tackles, and he did it again. Really, really important play for El Paso to stay in this game.
And the flick on there from Nicky Hernandez that set the run there of Astorga free.
Those are the ones when they go well, you think, what a brilliant play. When they don't, you want to sub the player off. But in that situation, Hernandez, brilliant ball.
Akale plays this one in. Bouncing around, and Maples called for the foul. Talon Maples, Arturo Astorga, the only two players to have not missed a minute of the action thus far in 2024 for the black and yellow. Maples, the 25-year-old out of Texas, who's actually named to the MLS Next Pro inaugural Best 11 after captaining Houston Dynamo 2 to 10 clean sheets in the 2022 season.
Yeah, you can see why when you watch him play. I mean, I think when you talk about the characteristics of his position, he fits them. You want a solid player. He doesn't get rattled. He makes good decisions. His rate of possession is outstanding. He's just a very, very good player.
Well, and I think it's interesting, too, when you look at some of the guys that were brought in. Talon Maples, former captain of his club. Marco Micheletto, also another former captain of their clubs. And so you can tell the type of person Eric Quill is wanting to bring into the locker room.
Without question.
Hernandez goes down, and a yellow card is shown.
Really smart foul player. I think he was off to the races if he doesn't pull him down.
It was Liam Rose that time.
Yeah.
The Australian goes into the book here in the 75th minute. Yellow card starting to add up for El Paso. It's their third so far. Here's Bailey. What a ball poked forward for Zico, and Jamali Waite able to handle it. Final 15 minutes here. Coach, what adjustments are you making if you're Brian Clairhout down there on the El Paso sideline?
You know, these last few minutes here, New Mexico United is starting to really get some quality chances, and I think if you're the coach of El Paso, you're starting to think, why? Here it is again.
Hernandez forcing the save from Jamali Waite.
But at some point, if you haven't won a game yet, and this game really doesn't cause a huge outcome either way, take some chances. Put some numbers forward. Put your best players in. Start to play a little bit more direct. See if you can't put New Mexico United in their own half. Press the game and see if you can't cause some problems.
Comes back to Micheletto. Here's Gloucester now. Ball headed away by Bolu Akinyode. Here comes Waite with the punch. New Mexico probing around the 18 here over the last minute or so.
Yeah, if you're New Mexico United, they're doing exactly what they want to do. Keep the ball, make El Paso pressure, make them defend the whole time, make them give up passes, slow the game down. Really good game planning from New Mexico United and their staff right now.
The goal scorer, Marco Micheletto. This one poked forward, and Waite has to come out again. Waite has done a lot of running for a goalkeeper here tonight.
He has, but his starting position has put him in really good positions, because I think if he's any deeper on those last two plays, there's a chance at goal. And because he's so high and because he is so athletic, he's really prevented that opportunity with the starting position. And you even see him even now, he's willing to stay up high on his line. He's comfortable covering that space behind him.
Jamali Waite, the 25-year-old Jamaican international, 8 caps for the Reggae Boys, coming back this weekend from international duty. Said the former Pittsburgh Riverhounds man over the last couple of seasons. Made 40 appearances up there at Highmark. Prior to that, spent some time with Philadelphia Union. Their 2 team, that is. So we're going to see a substitution here for El Paso. We're going to see Joaquin Rivas, as they're going to replace Noah Dolenmeyer. And interesting.
Interesting.
I feel like he's been making all the stops.
Yeah, interesting. So potentially, an offensive substitution here. See if you can put in more of an attacking-minded player where Dolenmeyer's been really, really quality in the back.
Joaquin Rivas, the El Salvadorian international, the 31-year-old. 34 caps for La Selecta, has 4 goals. This is his first season at El Paso, and in fact, this is his first appearance for the Locomotive. So, the debut here tonight for Joaquin Rivas. As I understand it, making his way back from injury. Here's his first touch. Even in a new number. Typically wears number 11, does Rivas. Scored 10 goals last season down for the Miami FC. He and Bolu Akinyode, teammates down there in South Beach last season. .80 minutes gone by here at the lab. Tyler Ortega, Heather Dyke on the call. Derby del Camino Real. Episode 1 in 2024. Here's Toomey. The former Loyal man losing possession. Moshoban was an instant impact sub against the Black and Yellow last season out at Torero. He came on very first touch, I believe, ended up scoring a goal right off the bench.
Yeah, even when you just say the name, you can automatically remember that goalie. He's just a special talent. But this is the point for New Mexico United fans now, where you start to think about previous years, whether you want to or not, and you think, can you kill a game? And I think that's something that I know Coach Quill has really been working on, is how in these moments do you make sure that you don't give up any opportunities and that you keep players in the right positions and keep the mindset correct, and that will be the test this year. There's always been talent, there's always been ability, but how do you close a game? And I know that's something these players have really been working hard on. It's going to be fun to see this last 10 minutes here.
Yeah, and you can kind of see the way that Eric Quill tries to close these games. And here's a stat for you. New Mexico United, they're actually unbeaten in their last 5 USL Championship matches when they have the lead at halftime. All 5 of those wins. And so here's El Paso asking some questions, and there's the equalizer. It's Rivas coming through, making his debut for El Paso and scoring here in the 81st minute. And now work to be done for the Black and Yellow. And you could almost feel like that was coming.
It's there's ebbs and flows in the game, and you start to feel that things are building, and certainly a special moment from the center forward there for El Paso to turn the corner and play that ball in. But I think it's okay. I think it's okay to be tested this early in the season to decide who you are, and this is where you want your players. You gain, opportunity through adversity. And you don't want that, but you want it early, so this is their chance to kind of fight back and see who they are.
It was Dylan getting down to the end line, playing the cross for Rivas. And that's a way to start your season there. Late drama between these two sides. It's exactly sort of what we were expecting.
Unfortunately, but sometimes when you've been a part of something for a little bit, you start to feel it coming. But I do think, again, like it's if you don't experience this early in the year, you're not going to know how to solve it late. And really, when it matters is late. So how do you respond now? Do you hang your heads? Do you press the game? Do you fight a way back? And as much as you don't want that as a coach, you really do. You want to put your team in a situation where they're going to struggle and find a way through it. Body language, they look like they're ready to go. There's no heads down. There's nobody sulking. They look like they're ready to play, and I think that's a huge testament to Coach Quill and his team. Like, they're not going to settle for a tie.
Attendance tonight Another great crowd despite the less than stellar conditions. 9,019 fans here on hand, presented by New Mexico Mutual as that shot goes wide. New Mexico now looking for the go-ahead goal here late. That was the first goal for Joaquin Rivas since last October when he scored against Charleston Battery. As I mentioned, scored plenty of goals last season. Oshaban almost had the interception. Here goes Hernandez now. Still Hernandez. Is looking to pick out Greg Hurst there behind Bolu Akinyode.
Well, now if you're Coach Quill, you're thinking, do you want to bring on some fresh legs? Do you want to bring on someone that may bring a different look up top or out wide and kind of, cause some problems for El Paso? I think they've seen the same picture here for a little bit. And do you want to change? Do you want to bring on someone new?
Just looking at some of the names here in the 18, there's one name that sticks out, and it's Daniel Bruce.
If there's anyone that can change a game with energy, it's Daniel Bruce. And New Mexico United fans have seen that for a long time. And he's someone that if he comes on, I know El Paso fans don't want to see because he makes a difference. He's an impact player.
Just looking down over at the New Mexico United technical area, it looks like Daniel Bruce and perhaps Jacobo Reyes receiving some instruction.
You're going to be Coach Tyler if you keep calling it like that.
And so we will see a couple of sets of fresh legs coming on here for New Mexico.
This is the point, though, in the game where you think, they're not substitutes, they're game changers. And who do you have that you know is going to come on and cause a problem? And, man, just the experience here with Daniel Bruce, he's going to come on and bring energy.
Here's Dylan. Toomey now. Finds Dylan. Dylan goes down, and the official points to the spot, and it's a penalty for El Paso. And Locomotive went from being 1-0 down to now staring 3 points right in the face. Talon Maples pleading his case with the official. And we'll have another look coming up here in just a moment. But for now, a penalty awarded to Locomotive. And let's have another look. And it was Bailey coming through on the back foot.
It's tough to say, but in watching the replay, you definitely can't say it was absolutely clean, and it's just kind of a chaotic play. It's certainly energy play from Bailey. He's trying to get a touch there, and quality movement from the center forward for El Paso.
And what a storyline this is. The former New Mexico United number 10, Armando Moreno, now playing for El Paso, staring at the go-ahead goal here from the spot. Moreno slots it by Tambakis, and El Paso have taken the lead. 2 goals here in 5 minutes late in the second half. And the lab has been turned upside down.
The lab has been turned upside down, yeah. And to your point, Tyler, it's a huge storyline, but you watch Armando score that goal, and he kind of backs away from the celebration. I think that is kind of a shout out to his respect for the New Mexico United fans. There's not a lot of gesturing there to them.
So Moreno gets his goal in the return to the lab from the penalty spot. We'll get another look here at this as Bailey comes through, and that's a penalty. 87th minute penalty for Armando Moreno sees El Paso take the lead here in Albuquerque. And now we see Daniel Bruce and Jacobo Reyes enter the match for the black and yellow.
Nothing to lose now. You got to go. Pick your moments, get numbers forward, play the stats, put numbers in dangerous areas, put the ball in dangerous areas. New Mexico United has the talent to tie this game up and potentially even win it. There's time left.
88th minute. Alfaro sends this one away, only as far as Gloucester. Here's Hernandez. Nicoletto. 89th minute now. Looking inside. Here's Reyes and Jacobo Reyes. Welcome to the match. It's his first touch of the match, and it's an equalizer. And we're knotted up here late. The Kings of Chaos are back.
The Kings of Chaos, and can you be more of a game changer than that? Your first touch, a little flick inside the box, one epic finish.
First goal of the season for Jacobo Reyes. In fact, that's his first goal for New Mexico United, and what a goal it is. That is one that he's going to remember for the rest of his career, and just like that, Coach, game on.
Just like that, game on. And then you know what? There's time to finish it. We're going to have a little bit of extra time added onto this. That's exact response you want from your team. Outstanding work from Eric Quill and his players.
This ball just chipped over, and you can see it was Nicoletto picking out the run of Reyes. Nicoletto just pulling the strings like a puppet master from the midfield.
It's him again. You see the texture and the pace that he puts on the ball. Everything is done with intention, and he's been doing that all game. So he deserves it. Reyes deserves it. Excellent finish.
Jacobo Reyes, the Harris, Texas native, was brought here on loan last summer from Monterrey. That's his first goal for New Mexico United. We're tied up here. Offside flag goes up. And as quickly as the air was taken out of this building, life has come right back in. El Paso fans not going to be excited to hear this. 7 minutes of New Mexico Pinon coffee stoppage time. Great coffee since '94 is that one. Another ball in a dangerous area for El Paso.
There's no quit. There's no quit in the Kings of Chaos, and you're starting to see that now. They're putting numbers forward. They're putting balls in the box, and when you do that, you give yourself up a chance for transition. So we'll see what happens here.
El Paso looking to break. This ball nicked forward. As Rose tried to track it down, he did. Still in play. Hernandez finds Bruce. New Mexico's all-time leader in appearances, Daniel Bruce. Hernandez just sends it in, and Nicky Hernandez with the go-ahead goal in second half stoppage. Pandemonium here at the Lab.
What a play from Daniel Bruce. The first touch, the ball into play, and then the finish from Hernandez. You can't ask for better than that.
Kings of Chaos in full force here tonight. 4 goals over the last 12 minutes, Heather. We went from a 1-0 game to a 3-2 game here. 1 minute into second half stoppage, and it's Nicky Hernandez with the go-ahead.
And both goals come from 2 substitutions. Brilliant play from both players, brilliant decision from the coaching staff. You bring in fresh legs and you find a way to win the game. Outstanding play from Daniel Bruce and Nicky Hernandez there.
Just when El Paso thought they might walk out of here with 3 points, with 1 point, perhaps now might be none. Still, plenty of soccer to play if the last 10 minutes have been anything to learn from. This is absolute madness.
Absolute madness, and the best part of the game when you can get this kind of a finish. And you, like, to your point, it's not done yet. There's still plenty of time to play. You see El Paso making a substitution right now. You know they're put numbers forward and see if they can fight back into this.
Bringing in forward Las Cruces native Ricardo Zacarias. Also subbing in Jeremy Garay as well. And there's a look at the 9,000 strong on hand here. And a chilly night at the Lab.
Ricardo, a player who grew up playing in New Mexico, so he knows it, he knows this stands, he knows these fans. I'm sure there's a lot of people here cheering for him as well. You gotta love when you see a player that grows up in the area coming to play professionally at this level. The exact response you want though from your club. You give up a late goal, you don't hang your head, you fight a way back in. This is what the fans want to see from New Mexico United.
When you said it yourself, when they went down 2-1, there's still plenty of time and they have the quality. Is there time for another? Daniel Bruce. Ball in the box, still Bruce. Dispossessed. Yode. Bruce whistled for the foul, and Bruce shown yellow. Yellow card brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. Stoppage time ticking away. Ricardo Zacarias spent.
The recreation of Ferguson Law Firm yellow card issued to New Mexico United number 25, Daniel Bruce.
Zacarias has been at El Paso since 2011. Scored 5 goals for the club. Prior to that, 14 appearances for Chattanooga Red Wolves, the USL League One. New Mexico, again, right back into no hurry mode.
Yeah, Simbakis is going to take his time here. Put the ball in a bad position, set it up, see how much of this 7 minutes you can run off the clock. It's a lot of stoppage time for a game.
New Mexico is still looking to get forward.
This is the point of the game where you want your team, if you have the ball, you're not going to get scored on. And I think sometimes in these moments you start to think, like, how do we slow the game down? How do we play direct? And it's not what you want. You want the ball. You want to keep a high pressing position. You want to make sure the opponent doesn't have time to get comfortable. And sometimes it's difficult as a player to think, can we keep the ball? Can we slow the game down instead of can we play direct and get it out of our half?
Goal kick coming up here for El Paso. How quickly things change here over the second half. If you've been with us since this match started, it was a good match. It was a chess match, as you said, and suddenly here over the last 15 minutes, the cork has just come off the bottle.
You know, if you love soccer, this is why you love it. It's unpredictable. It's ebbs and flows. It's movement. You cannot always predict a winner, and there's never a favorite. And I think that's what makes the game so special. But these last 12 minutes, man, if you're a fan and you don't love that, pick a new sport.
Got some more score updates there for you. Top left corner of your screen, Hartford, Miami have now gone final. 3-2 win there for Hartford. Detroit, clean sheet against NCFC as well, 1-0. You can see these guys having fun. Approaching the 7-minute mark of second half stoppage. Nicoletto sends this one long down to the corner. Bruce into the padding pretty hard out there.
Yeah, he hit the wall hard.
Last gasp here for El Paso. Can they steal a point from the jaws of defeat here late? Wait, plays this one forward.
Could be the last chance here for El Paso.
Hines looks to play this one in, dealt with by Zico. Maples gets up to win the header. Bruce over to Reyes. Reyes. No hurry. Here goes Gloucester. And Gloucester plays the ball in, looking for Bruce. Not very often do you see Daniel Bruce get on the end of a header.
No, and I also wonder if you're Coach Quill, if you just want Gloucester to take that ball to the corner and kill some time there. I mean, I appreciate the cross, but 4-2 and 3-2 are both wins. You just want to keep the ball.
New Mexico still trying to hang on here. Astorga comes up with the interception. Boots it away. Still past the 7 minutes. There was the goal scored by Hernandez early in stoppage time. Maples gets ahead to it. Hernandez looking to track it down. So this very well could be the very last attempt here for El Paso, and it's going to be Stauffer to throw it in.
Long throw coming here.
Stauffer sends it in. Headed away initially. Bruce gets a touch to it, and that is the full-time whistle here at the Lab. The 16th regular season edition of the Derby del Camino Real goes to the black and yellow. 3-2, that is Marco Micheletto, your man of the match here tonight with a goal and an assist. Coach, what did you see here tonight?
3 lead changes in one game. You can't ask for more than that. Just exceptional soccer from both teams and a really quality match. But the result that New Mexico United is going to be really pleased with moving forward.
2-0 at home this season. Perfect 6 for 6 when it comes to points here in friendly confines for the black and yellow as they head out on another long road trip. The next home game here on May 11th. And as Alex Tambakis, your save of the match winner, presented by the Somos Unidos Foundation, as he had a stellar game here tonight. He had plenty of saves there in that first half. We're going to step aside. We'll be back to recap the action. Full time here at the Lab. New Mexico victorious over El Paso for the first time at home since 2019.
Went on 3, 1, 2, 3. I tell the God and he told me keep moving. I'm at the show and they told me keep grooving. If it ain't me, tell me who else gonna do it. I'ma just do it. I'ma just do it. I'm at the top of my city, I'm tooling. Bitch said that I be the hottest improving. Every day I see the fruits of improvement. I'ma just do it. I'ma just do it.
With more ways to win, whatever game you play, Sandia Resort Casino. Now more than ever. Close to home, far from ordinary.
Went on 3, 1, 2, 3. I tell the God and he told me keep moving. I'm at the show and they told me keep grooving. If it ain't me, tell me who else gonna do it. I'ma just do it. I'ma just do it. I'm at the top of my city, I'm tooling. Bitch said that I be the hottest improving. Every day I see the fruits of improvement. I'ma just do it. I'ma just do it.
Back here at the Lab, full time. It's New Mexico 3, El Paso 2. After a flurry of late goals from both sides, Heather, is we've got plenty to talk about. Let's just go ahead and dive right into the highlights here from this incredible match. The Derby del Camino Real between New Mexico United and El Paso Locomotive FC, living up to the billing. This is how the party started. 7 minutes in, Marco Micheletto scoring his first goal in black and yellow.
Listen, if you could draw up a result in a rivalry match, this is it. A couple of lead changes, some really chippy play. You can tell these teams both really care. It's exactly what you want, and what a great match from both teams.
And then here, late in this one, 81st minute, Joaquin Rivas finding the equalizer for El Paso by way of Justin Dillon. And then Dillon, again, causing problems for New Mexico. Just 5 minutes later, draws the penalty. Who else? Sticking in the back of the net, as he's done here so many times before, Amando Moreno. Then, as it seemed everything was lost, here come the subs. Jacobo Reyes off the dime there from Marco Micheletto. And then, as we're going to see, it was Nicky Hernandez putting the nail in the coffin here late in second half stoppage. What a match.
What a match. And just the effort in these last, goals from both teams to not give up, to not put your head down. Honestly, I think both coaches leave here proud. Of course, everybody wants to leave with a win, but you have to be proud of the effort from both sides.
4 goals from the 81st minute on, after having just one prior to that. Let's take a look. These are the full-time stats here at the lab. I'll be honest, I don't think my heart could handle another 45 minutes of this one, as New Mexico, they were able to even out the possession just a little bit there in that second half, ultimately ending things 42-58. But you look at that XG, it almost looks like El Paso, according to the numbers, perhaps might have won here. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Love and hate about soccer is the numbers are fake. It's XG is important, of course it is, but it's at the end of the day, you want the top number. You want the goals to be in your favor. So I think El Paso, again, will be pleased with the way they're playing. I think if you're the coach, you can't hang your head about the results going into the season so far, because there's something special about that team, and when it's going to click, it's going to click.
Final thoughts from the match here tonight?
Eric Quill has to be proud of his team. I think this is something that all the fans have wanted from New Mexico United, is how do you respond when things don't go your way? And tonight, they stepped up, and that's exactly what you want from your team.
New Mexico hitting the road here for the next 3 weeks. U.S. Open Cup action coming up here in a couple weeks, and then we're back at the lab May 11th. Meow Wolf night already, as Oakland Roots are coming to town. Make sure, hop on to SeatGeek, get your tickets for that one, get your season tickets, as we say goodbye for everybody here that was part of our production. Art director Gary Williams, Heather Dyke on commentary, color commentary. Thanks for joining me once again, Coach. My name is Tyler Ortega. We'll see you here on May 11th.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.